Hi everybody, the Mature Simmer here. Welcome to another map tour. I know it's been a while since I've had one, and basically the challenge has been trying to find maps that are coming out that aren't in a clear state of still being in development. So, I do apologize for not having a map tour in a while, but everything else seemed like it was really half-baked and not likely to be something that would be incredibly playable or incredibly enjoyable to be played. So here we are on Goliszew, which is a Polish map. I don't know if it's a fictional or a real place, but let's jump in and see what the developer has to say. So the creator's Yazu, Y-A-Z-U. Hello all, map Goliszew remake of FS19. I invite you to the Goliszew fields. 4 farms to live, you can own all 4 at once. Additionally, each kennel can be purchased separately. Activation of objects after purchasing land. All production facilities available in the basic version of the game, plus a modification with a brewery. So we'll take a look at that a little bit later. For those who do not want to run a farm, just have fun. Cultivate the land and harvest crops, extra company to perform orders and contracts, Agro AS. Many purchases on the map introduce a variety of prices, and much more can be found on the map. Unfortunately, I was not able to set the manure plate in the configuration I wanted, and have to set it up in the game. These are designated, painted examples, but the choice is yours. I wish you a lot of fun on the map. Many thanks to L. Luki, Prezis, Myro7771, and all the modders that I have used on this map. So there you have it. Again, it's an FS19 port, which certainly helps usually make a map feel more thorough and lived in. So again, these flower boxes, the textures here, and the way things are put into the map. Now that obviously will be something newer with how this ground texture and this house came in, because this is, unless I'm mistaken, the house from Haute-Bayonne. So other than it looks a little bit off with its tile roof and so forth here in Poland, the modder's done a great job of incorporating it into the map and making it look like it's been here for a while. So let's hop into the PDA. So here is the map in the PDA. As you can see, there's a lot here. There's a lot going on. From what I can tell, we've got 84 fields. Again, in the description I gave, the modder did not indicate exactly what's there, so I may be off, but that's the highest I've been able to see. We are down here. The arrow's flashing there. So this is our farm here. If I change to the land view, we can see we own, obviously, the farm, a couple fields around it, 1 field to the south, then a couple fields up north, kind of in the edges of the map, so we've got a presence all over the map. The map itself is a standard size map. As far as I can tell, I've not seen anything to indicate that it's a larger size map. And if we click around, I think this is the largest field. You'll see I've got this area. I have the additional field info mod running, which I will have in all of my map tours going forward now that it's available. For exactly this type of information. It helps us know field sizes. So yeah, this one's actually a little bit larger than 4.181 versus 41 or 41.81 versus 41.29. Our field here is 1.37. Another one here is 2.3. So basically you're looking at fields from about 2 acres up to a little over 40 acres. So a lot of variation in size. I'll just kind of click around as I chat here. You can kind of see what we're talking about in different sizes and and so forth. So a lot to choose from, a lot of different configurations as far as size. Even the ones that are rectangular are a little bit skewed, so they're almost like, I don't know, not really rectangles rotated. So just definitely should be interesting working the fields, and certainly even the ones we have aren't really fully rectangular. We've got a different edge there with the road. We've got this little piece that jogs up there. Switching back to this view, you can see there's a lot of things placed on the map, as they mentioned. So, you know, we've got some animal enclosures here. We've got a cow barn that's already part of us. This chicken coop is, I think, across the street from what we own, so it's not one of our items. But if we click around, you know, here's Agro AS, so that was one of the additional places to sell that they talked about. And then we've got an elevator, Agri LB here, and there's another elevator Goliszew up here as well. As far as productions, they're all over the map. So you've got a grape processing unit. I believe there's another one here somewhere where there's a biogas plant. There's a sugar mill, sawmill, the mill itself for the grain. There's the brewery that was the addition that they put in, so we'll definitely take a look at that in more detail later. Down here we've got a bakery, a carpentry, a tailor shop, a cheese production, chocolate, and then lime and so forth. There's also, you know, electric charging stations, gas stations, biomethane stations, electric charging again, gas station. So if you're looking to use different types of powered vehicles, the map is already ready to help you be able to do that. Down here we've got a dairy, cereal factory, the oil mill. So you know, he mentioned all the base productions are here. I think, you know, they're definitely around. There's the spinnery. So the nice thing is they're spread around the map, and they're obviously available for you to purchase or interact with as you choose. All right, next part that we'll look at is just how many sell points and what the selling looks like on a map, so you can see how interactive it'll be, and if you're just stuck going to the same place. So we've got, what, 5 locations here, well really 4 that buy wheat. Barley, oats, it's the same. Canola drops a little bit. Sorghum, grapes and olives, actually quite a few. We've got about 6. Soybeans just has a couple, the 2 elevators. Corn's got the cereal factory and the elevator. A lot of options for potatoes, which certainly makes sense on a Polish map given the prevalence of that crop in that region. Sugar beets, even have locations for cotton and sugar cane, which have been missing from some maps that I've seen. And then the animal products, so lots of sell points for eggs, for wool, for milk. Wow, you've got, what, 8 sell points, so definitely can be very active with dairy if you want. Again, it's good given that you get a cow barn at the beginning. Silage, grass, hay, straw, diesel. Again, we've got the buying fuels, and you've got the biomass heating plant that will buy this material, and then all the productions itself. So you can see 4 or 5 locations, you know, sometimes expanding up to 6 to 8. So definitely a lot of options to sell. So planks just have the one, the carpentry location. So you can't sell raw planks, you'll have to turn them into furniture, but once you do that, you've got 4 options. Alright, it looks like we're also starting with 20,000 liters of lime and 10,000 liters of herbicide. We'll have to look for that. No place to sell stones, so that's something to keep in mind. And here we've got some additional fill types with beer. Piwo is beer in Polish, so which is basically the English description of the beer, the Polish description of the beer. So, and you can see, 5 sell points for each of those, and some of them are pretty expensive. So the barley beer's going for 7,000 per 1,000 liters. Okay, so back here on the farm, we'll just take a bit of a look around. Start here in the garage. Okay, we've got a pickup as expected. We've got this point here, which is the wardrobe change point. We've got the game cartridge console. It looks like it still lets you interact with it. Obviously we've got the pickup here. Just take a quick look. Alright, so if I go in here to the statistics screen, we do see that there are 12 collectibles. So in theory there's collectibles on this map. So if you're looking to work with those, you can always look for those. I haven't spent any time looking to see if they're truly around or not, but it looks like there's at least a possibility. So let's wander around and kind of explore the equipment we have along with the grounds. So we've got a handheld mower here as well, and given that we have a bunch of grass at the edge, that could be helpful. We've got a bale loader, looks like for round bales. And, okay, a lime station here, and this is where our 20,000 lime is. It looks like it's the interactive ones where we can just purchase product. So 130,000 liters. I'm not sure with it having some in there if that adjusts down, so I don't know if that's really 150,000 liter capacity. This is fertilizer up to 60,000 liters. And then we've got our regular silo here that's empty. Oh, we've got a TMR mixer inside the cow barn there. And then we've got some silos here that I assume service the cow barn. So yeah, we can buy wheat, oat, seeds, mineral food, pig food, so different things, but it looks like 27,300. I assume they're both the same capacity, but let's just check. Yep. Bunker silo. And then we've got what I think appears to be a manure spreader here, Power Spread Plus. And then we have, I think, what's a slurry tanker. Alright, the standard Rostel Mash Nova 330 that appears on some of the base maps along with the header. Looks like it's lined up here ready to go for the field. This is one of the fields we own, 2.85 acres of wheat that's ready to harvest. So this is that shaped field that has things up the edge. Got a root cellar here, earth fruit storage as it says. And as we come down here to our other field, we've got 1.2 acres of potatoes. Curious to see if we've got any equipment to deal with that. So we've got a tanker there, which should handle milk along with the other liquids. Okay, the cow barn will handle 100 cows. I'll come back and look at all this equipment a little bit here. So this is a liquid fertilizer tank. So we can get 173,000 liters of liquid fertilizer there. And then 5,000 liters of fuel. We've got quite a bit here. A tedder, a plow, water tanker, and a windrower, I believe. Take a look at that when we look at the garage in detail just to make sure. Alright, so we've got a Hardy sprayer, and then here's the tank with our 10,000 liters of herbicide. So again, it says we can buy 20,000 liters, so I don't know if that means we have a 30,000 capacity tank or not. Alright, and a liquid manure tank, a slurry tank here at the base of the potato field. So now we'll head back to the center of the farmyard and take a look at all this equipment here. So we've got a Lintrack 130, a trailer, a mower, another tractor, smaller one, a Buer. That's one I'm not familiar with. It looks like a cultivator. Another trailer, so that's nice. And then a Valtra 8750 tractor. We've got some equipment here, a weight, bale spike, front loader, and a bucket. Just take a look real quick. Yeah, this is the tractor with the front loader on it. Let's take a look if we've got anything in these sheds. Yep, I can see through there. Oh wow, we've got a fertilizer spreader. A baler, that's great. And I believe that's a forage wagon. The lights work on these? Yep, awesome. So you've got doors that work on the sheds and lights. So let's just open these two up and see what we've got. Alright, so this one's empty, so we'd be able to store some of that equipment out there. Oh, I guess that door moved the cultivator. Oh, and we've got another baler here. So if you're looking to automate your work, since you've got multiple tractors, you'd be able to, hook two balers up. And then again, we've got the bale spike or the bale loader. And I think you can reconfigure those trailers to to just be flat and load bales. And it looks like maybe we've got a workshop point here where we could bring our equipment in and reconfigure things and repair it. So not a bad layout. Definitely something that would look, I think, pretty natural for the region. Alright, so let's head on up, see what we see. First thing that certainly jumps out at me is, wow, the surrounding area is very nice. Looks like we're here in the mountains, I guess really in the foothills, because over here to the west we're not seeing anything. It's expanding out, but so they did a good job of adding that in. Right here on the edge of the town of Goliszew, I believe, is what that probably is. This was Agro AS Services. That field we own is down there, so we're already down here at the bottom of the map in that little bit of traversal. So as I said, definitely appears to be a standard size map. It's a pretty good size field here, 35 acres. Got a little bit of trees in the center. Looks to be a pretty flat map. Okay, looks like a bunch of greenhouses there. So something maybe when you buy them, you'll get them available to you. And then some of the purchase points, we'll take a look at things as we drive. Just looking at the map in general, I mean, it looks like being down at ground level, we're not going to have any of that jarring, poor design that removes the immersion from you, a feeling that you're in a space, a real space. So we've got an area there that looks like it could be a farm. I'm guessing that's one of the 4 farms. We'll take a look at that in a little more detail later. Alright, here's our oil mill, our cereal factory, and our dairy. The elevator. We've got a few houses up here, a nice lake, some interesting textures. I assume that's like algae floating on the top, and yeah, some cell points up here, it looks like. So now we're at the north end of the map already. We've got, looks like a few stands of trees Definitely, again, you know, different shaped fields, very small, thin fields if you like those. So it certainly gives you options if you want to explore those. Map does look pretty flat, so that's, I guess there is some elevation change there, it looks like, so I guess we'll see what it looks like on the ground. Maybe it's not as bad. A lot of meandering roadways to get around. We've got some high tension lines. So yeah, just depending where we want to get to, it looks like it might be a bit of a challenge to get to some fields, but because once again we've got some that are tucked away here from the main road, it looks like there's a little bit of a road network that goes around. And so yeah, those circles on the map are the high tension towers in the fields. So they do take up a good amount of real estate, and then I think this is the other elevator. Yeah, we've got something down there as well. But yeah, I think we've got some grain elevator and so forth, some more sell points, and then I believe that brings us back toward our farm over here. So yeah, this is us. Alright, so let's head on over and get in our pickup and do the last part of our tour, which will be the driving tour. Alright, so we're in the pickup. Let me back up a tiny bit. I want to kind of stay at truck level so we kind of get the experience of what things look like at the ground. Probably going to back into someone. It'll be just my luck. And luckily we got out. Alright, so as we said, kind of near the town of Goliszew here. It's still the edge of our property, so again with like that hand mower, we've got all that grass there we can take out and beautify the yard, I suppose. And I don't know how easy it would be to get the baler in there or the forage wagon and pick things up, but if you wanted to, it gives you that option. So there's Agro AS. We've got the sign there. A little bit of, you know, English, so you know, maybe you could pretend it's an English company showing up, but other billboards here. Goliszew is on there. Looks like we're leaving the city limits. And then this, yeah, we're coming up on field 40 here, which is one of our other fields. Looks like it's planted with grass. We've got a hayloft here, which is great. So we'd be able to maybe use a forage wagon and just dump that right in the hayloft if we wanted to. And then obviously unload eventually. So that's a nice thing. And yeah, you can see a little bit of the edge of the map there, and definitely, you know, looks pretty good. And given that there's a lot of pine trees around, it doesn't look as strange having that at the edge. An FS19 map that's ported over definitely gives a lot of capability as far as being more built out. Because obviously in FS19 the creators had a lot more time to work on the maps than we've had so far. We've got those concrete utility poles that tend to exist on the Eastern European maps that we normally see. And definitely that mountain backdrop looks pretty nice here. Whoops. Guess I gave him too much room. But yeah, those mountains look pretty nice as we head out here. So yeah, Regionalne Centrum Rolnicze. So that's just a nice Polish sign there. So let's see what we've got here. We know we've got one of our fields up in this area. This is, I think, where they had the chicken coop. Yeah, those look like a bunch of chicken coops there. So don't know. It doesn't look like it's an interactive sell point, so this might be an area you could buy and utilize. And then let's see, that billboard, yep, definitely Polish, so helps set the regional tone and so forth. We'll head up north and start heading up this way on the map. So yeah, looking out, you know, there I'd say it's pretty flat, so I would agree that is flat, but here you can already tell just from the road there's definitely some rolling terrain, so it's a little bit of a mixture. You know, and again, I think, you know, it's a good job on the map. Definitely a nice feeling. You've got these entryways over the drainage ditches that are helpful. Let's see, we've got this, I think, is the brewery. So let's head in there. Oh, I saw that and was like, well, let me try it. But yeah, I guess I don't have to open the main thing. Yakotakie. And then they've got beer in all kinds of different languages. Nice. You got cerveza in Spanish and piwo in Polish. So pretty nice. So let's head over here. Yeah, I didn't talk about, you know, we've got the $1 million. This is new farmer mode, and so that's what it starts you with. So yeah, we'll go ahead and buy this, just so we have it. And then that gives us the option to look at the production setup. So I'm here in the production chains, and so you can see we've got Goliszew Brewery, and it looks like we can make 4 different beers. So we can make wheat beer with 40 water, 25 wheat, turns into 15 bottles of wheat beer, 35 water and 25 barley, so a little bit less water gives us barley beer. Honey beer, we still need barley, but we add some honey and we only get 10 bottles. And similarly, water, barley, strawberry, and we get 15 bottles of strawberry beer. So it gives you some variety, which is nice. It's not that they're all the same recipe, so as far as quantities even, so that helps. I'm assuming I can just, yeah, there you go. And that's nice and deliberate, like I would think those things are in real life. If I've ever used, you know, been at one of those, they do take forever to open. So, alright. So that's the brewery. Let's see where we're at here. I want to get over to the left to get to our field. So I think we can take this road. I think that's a do not enter sign, not being from Europe, I'm not sure, but we'll hope no one's looking and go this way, because I just would like to get you toured around the map rather than me actually trying to figure out the best way to get to places. This is a good thing to take a look at here, the high tension towers, and just kind of get a perspective of the size for them and what they take up in a field. We've got a radio or TV tower here, maybe a cellular tower. I see our fields up that way, so let's see. Alright, we can go here. And then I know, given the flyover, it looks like we probably could, whoops, well, that's not very helpful to see, but the road goes off to the left. But let's see what we've got. It looks like we've got corn. Again, with field info, we can see we've got 6.45 acres up here. So definitely bigger fields than what we have around our location. And then again, if we spin around, yeah, there's that road over there that goes around the, I think, back end of the fields and lets us get to other ones if we need to. So if we start buying more fields, we'd have some options there. But the corn is still growing, so if we were to start off with a game on this map and not adjust the time, you know, right now it looks like our wheat's ready and we're waiting on other things to finish growing. And let me just take a peek. So yeah, I just wanted to quickly jump in and look at the growth, the crop calendar. It's the base crop calendar with the game as far as I can tell, so nothing's been modified there. Alright, back in the truck and moving along here. We'll go up a little further north. We'll head, so what have we got here? We've got a Polskie Młyny, which would be the mill. So that's just the grain mill, similar to what we've got from Elm Creek. I'm sure it's just moved over, but it's nice with the theming, with the region and so forth, that the modder went ahead and created some signs, made some changes there. And it does look pretty nice. So here's the biogas plant facility. We've got some silage bunkers. And this is, Polski Cukier. So this is sugar. That's what cukier is. And that's the sugar mill. There's the gas station. Looks like there's a little bit of construction going on out here, so just be careful when you head in, but you can fill up there. That's pretty nice. So again, the attention to detail is pretty cool. Alright, I think we can go here. That's the edge of the map. Again, looks good. Doesn't make me feel like we're suddenly dropping off a cliff or anything. Alright, so, and yeah, definitely some variation a little bit. Looks like we've got a little bit of a valley over there. So there is some elevation change. I do like the fact, and even though it's somewhat flat, you know, maybe it's the mountains around the edge, but it gives me a more comfortable feeling that I'm not just playing on a computerized map that is just flat as a table. So, even though in some cases here I think we are, you know, not right now, but some of the fields did look significantly flatter. But I could definitely enjoy this the way it sits. There's definitely things to look at, and you know, it's not the challenge of alpine farming per se, where you're on really steep fields, but whoops, this is our field here, so let's not go too far. Not sure what that is growing in there. Let me run off and take a look real quick. Soybeans, so 9.42 acres, so nearly a 10-acre field up here. So that's pretty good size. So we've got a 10, a 6-acre, and then a couple more. So, you know, we might have a little over 20 acres in total in our holdings right now. So certainly a good start, and with the small harvester we've got and so forth, probably realistic, but we've got a lot of other options if we want to expand in the future, or even now with the money we've got. Fields aren't super inexpensive, so we wouldn't be able to buy too many, but we could do it if we wanted. So that's the grain mill, or the elevator, and then here is the dairy, and so yeah, you can see the vats for the milk there, the cereal factory, the oil mill. We're now heading back south, heading back toward our farm, and so as you can tell, you know, it doesn't take very long to go from one end of the map to the other, so definitely, unless I'm totally mistaken, a base game standard size map. We've got a billboard for the sugar mill. Yeah, but here, you know, definitely much flatter, but still not totally flat, so it may be kind of a, you know, playing tricks on us that it's a flat map. So it's like a visual illusion, but alright, I think this is the animal dealer. Again, we've got the cheese factory. It's Sera. Goliszew. So I'm thinking that's just, that's telling us it's cheese factory of Goliszew. But yeah, fromage de lune, I think that comes from Haut-Brion. Interesting. We've got this interaction point here, but nothing on the map. Let me get out and see what we've got. What does this do? Ah, lets us change the wardrobe. It's German. So I don't know German. I'm not German, I'm Polish. So, don't know exactly what that says, if it's a clothing store or not. Guessing it may not be, but who knows. It may be, and that might be why they did that. This is the chocolate factory. So yeah, czekolada z Goliszewa przyjacie towarów. So there you go. Czekolada is chocolate. So very nice. So obviously those aren't base game signs because there aren't any Polish maps. Looks like we've got like a... Oh, this is the dealer. So they've got a sign pretty much that they sell everything, which is pretty nice. So the store's right there. Our farm's just down the street. So if you're going to not use something like store deliveries and have things appear just right on your farm and you want to actually operate more realistically and go get it, you can. And it's not a horrendous run here to the farm, because here we are. Again, this field right here is not ours. That's field 47. We would have to buy that if we wanted to add that in. But here we are back at our lovely castle. So I'm going to turn off the car. So yeah, so there you go. I think we've looked at everything. Oh, you know what we haven't looked at? Let's go back to the map. Alright, so back here on the map, one of the things that it talked about in the description was there's 4 farms that we can use. So let's see if we can figure out where they are. I think this would be one, with the cow barn with the feeding robot. So you could purchase that. Here's one with pigs, the pigsty. And this looks like, yeah, the sheep barn. In theory, I guess, you've also got this chicken coop, but there's really not a lot of space there to do anything. Where here, you've got areas if you need more buildings. Similarly, but I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4 is realistically what it is. I'm thinking the chickens are theoretically supposed to be part of our farm. They just didn't want to give us all of that. But, if you buy that, wow. I think because you're getting all that infrastructure, 611,550. The other piece here that I see here is, can you buy these? You can. So 1.5,848,000. Now that's compared to, again, we've got an 8-acre space there. Here we've got a 12-acre field that's only 195. So I think definitely a fair job of things that should be more are more. Things that shouldn't be are lower. So they keep fields, accessible. For 55,000 I can buy that field. 37,000, again, if I wanted to pick this up and even this one, so for 40,000 and another 50,000, so basically under 100,000 I could kind of square this off. But if I wanted to add the chickens in, now I'm talking about something else. Same thing here, the cows with the robotic feeder will cost you $1 million. That farm there with the pigs, 505,000. With the sheep, 659,000. So I didn't look at the middle or hard difficulty starting point as far as what cash it gives you. Given that you start with $1 million instead of 100,000, it's possible they give you a higher amount. So let me go take a look at that quickly, and I'll report back. Yeah, so the map gives you the options. If you start on New Farmer mode, which is the middle difficulty, you'll get $3 million, which is more than the 1.25 million you typically are getting. And then if you start from scratch, you'll get 2 million, which also is a premium, I think, over the normal 500,000 that you would get in that case. So, good job for Yazu for modifying that and making it reasonable to start, given that you're going to need a good amount of equipment, and if you want to buy one of these farms, you're needing a significant amount of money. So sticking with the game defaults for those would make it difficult to buy, say, even this one, which I think is $500,000, and or the chicken coops and all of those others that are starting to approach $1 million. But you do have the ability to do that if you want to not start a New Farmer mode. So wrapping things up with some final thoughts. Yeah, I think this is a really good map. I think it's really well done. I think the fact that it's been moved from FS19 and they've integrated the productions, they've done it in a way that, as you've seen when we've driven around, they look like they've been there from the design of the map. So I think they've done an excellent job in bringing this forward, letting you use the new things and really fleshing it out, where I think that's been a gap I've seen in other maps. So depending on your style of gameplay and so forth, I think this would certainly be worth some time for folks to take a look at. And between this and Calmsden Farms, we've got a couple maps that are of high quality that you can definitely enjoy yourself with. So thanks for coming along on this tour. As always, certainly if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Please like the video so that it gets shared with more people. And obviously any comments or questions you've got, please put them down below and I'll be happy to respond as soon as I can. And I will see you next time.